Hello everyone, I'm Brian. Today I'm reacting to Stop Complaining, Be Grateful, Gaur Gopal Das. So I fear that this is what I notice around where I'm at is a lot of people complain and aren't quite grateful. No, don't get me wrong, I complain too, mostly to myself, but I am also very grateful. I try to be grateful. It's nice to be grateful. It means good things are happening. So I try to be more grateful than complaining. And what do I complain about? I do have some things I complain about, especially now, but that's for me to solve. Anyways, let's go ahead and hear what he has to say.
A young man joined a monastery to live the life of a monk. He had lived a life of comfort before, and now here he was trying to adjust with and adapt to a life of simplicity and austerity. Out of the many strict rules that monks were expected to follow, the hardest was the vow of silence. No one was allowed to speak at all, not a single word for 10 years at a stretch. And after every 10 years, the monks were permitted to speak just 2 words. After spending his first 10 years at the monastery, when the head monk asked the young monk to speak his 2 words, he said, "Bed hard." The head monk shook his head and said, "Okay, I see." 10 years later, when he got a second chance to speak his 2 words, the not so young monk now said to the head monk, "Food stinks." And the head monk gave his standard reply, "Okay, I see." Yet another 10 years passed by, and when the now senior monk, who had lived in the monastery for 30 years, was asked by the head monk what his 2 words were, he said, "I quit." "Well, I can see why," replied the head monk. "All you ever do is complain." Ladies and gentlemen, in whatever we do in life, we have to accept some voluntary inconveniences to be able to achieve whatever it is that we are trying to achieve. After all, isn't it a fact? No pain, no gain.
Okay, so I do agree with what it says here, and this reminds me of some people that I see is that they complain a lot, and but yet they also say that they only complain about the major things. But to me, it's all relative, I guess, of what is major and what is minor. I get some complaints for sure, like if they're, I don't know, you're being mistreated and whatnot. Took him 30 years to say I quit though, so he stuck with it at the very least. He needs to learn sign language, that way he can talk to people without speaking words. But anyways, yeah, I mean, and it is a balance of about when it is right to complain and when it's it's reasonable not to complain. Obviously, we cannot be just pushovers in life. We have to make sure that we are able to push back, because you can be taken advantage of if you don't push back. They will do that to you. And obviously you don't want someone who just complains about everything.
The more our attention is on our goal, on our purpose, on where we want to reach, on the process to reach there, we do not get easily distracted by the lack of facilities and the inconveniences caused thereby. But if we are not focused on these, then even the little things begin to bother us. What to speak of the big ones? Of course, if we do not have the basic facilities, it may be hard to focus on what we are doing and silence the complaining mind. We should never be indifferent to our own needs, nor those of others. We should address them so we can give our best to what we are doing. At the same time, let's not forget, if we want to get somewhere, things won't all be hunky-dory the way we want them. There'll be struggles and a need to adjust. Don't quit. Change your focus and keep going.
Okay, I'm gonna actually leave it on This one. Okay. So yes, there is obviously you should complain if there is something major, a major issue. The problem is for every individual person. Okay, a video over it. I'm going to start talking now. So obviously, there's certain things that you should complain about. Things that are unsafe. Things definitely that. If something's really bothering you, like majorly, obviously, complain about it. But at the same time, there are people out there who the littlest things will bother the crap out of them, and they will complain about it, even though it's not that big of a deal. They just, I feel that life has become so easy in some parts of the world, especially in certain parts of the world, that the little things that would not normally bother them in the past will bother them now. So like where I was born and where I'm at now, massive difference. Massive difference. Perhaps maybe that's the reason why I'm quite grateful of where I'm at. I'll just leave it at that. Okay, anyways, that's my reaction to Stop Complaining, Be Grateful, Gaur Gopal Das. If you like my content, please consider subscribing. Thumbs up, thumbs down below. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next vid.